So, have you ever captured a real ghost story? Hello everyone, I'm Melissa New and welcome to this week's episode of Framed. So this artist is fascinated by the stories of the past, and what she shows us today is how she brings them to life using 3D. If you got some 3D glasses, put them on. This is cool stuff. Let's do this, huh? Claudia.
Melissa.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Thank you for having us in your home.
Oh, it's exciting to have you here. Really fun.
Thank you. So we all came in here and there's a very unique feeling in this home. It's very cool and there's so much history and you said that there's a special feeling and person that likes to come and hang out. Will you tell us about that?
Well, I live in I am in pursuit of ghosts, but also there's a ghost that lives in this house that's in pursuit of me.
Really?
Yeah, and his name is Peter Balbush.
Yeah.
He lived here until 1966. He was what they call a montage artist, which is a strange coincidence because what I'm doing is montage, and he worked for MGM. And he made the montages for films where you see the spinning newspaper to show the passage of time, or maybe Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn flew around the world, and so he would put together them in China or them in Russia, you know, and you would see the passage of time.
So he worked on Gone with the Wind?
Yes, okay. He was a second unit director on that. Ooh, he's here.
Is he really?
Yes! Yes, and in this room, he believed in life after death because he had a near drowning experience as a boy. And he made a movie to prove that there was such a thing as life after death, and it's called The Body is a Shell. I have a copy of this movie, and so they have a seance scene in this very room. And the film was released in the theaters. It was not just, you know, a home movie. It was released.
So Claudia, hold on. Why did the clock go off?
Because it's time.
So why ghost stories? Why did you start with ghost stories?
Well, when I was a little girl, I was always fascinated by ghosts.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah, come on. Who's not fascinated by what you can't see? Well, I made my living as a photographer. I was first published in Rolling Stone in 1976.
Wow.
I've been around.
So what was
And
published?
I did editorial photography.
Okay.
And made my living doing photography until I retired when I was 50. And so the first series was Revenant, where I did the double series with people that I really photographed, the reenactors.
Right.
And then the next series I did also on the fabric was the daguerrotypes, the ghost stories. and they became 3D when you line it up. I took my work to New York, and there was a guy who introduced me to a couple galleries with these fabric pieces. And there were 2 galleries that, you know, just walking off the street. Hello? Who walks off the street and says, yes, we want to represent you? Both galleries did.
Wow.
Wow. I chose one. It was a John Stevenson gallery. And John said to me, you know, he called me one day, he says, I don't know how to show people this work on the web. It's experiential.
Right.
If you take a still photo of these 2 pieces of fabric hanging in front of each other, it doesn't convey the magic at all.
Right, it's not the magic, it's us sitting here and looking at these amazing photos.
You have to interact.
Yeah.
It is not, it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's not just looking at a picture. Yeah. So he says, so my assistant came up with this great idea for you. Her idea is that you do this in 3D. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so I did know somebody. His name is Ray 3D Zone. He gave himself that name.
Yeah.
Ray Zone. He is the king of 3D. He knows 3D inside out.
Right.
So I asked Ray if he could make my work 3D. And he said that he would do it. He would convert it for a pretty reasonable price. I was retouching them. And I'm working on it, I'm retouching them, and I start to notice a little bit how he did it. I started to become clear. So then it was in my hands, and I started doing it myself, which is a very important part of it because, you know...
Now it's your art.
Now it's mine. It's mine, and I determine how far in front or how back, what I want in front, what I want behind, and I can. So it's in my hands. And the fabric pieces, I stopped making the fabric pieces because they were really challenging. I had to go down to the factory. To make them, I had to hire a sewer, and you know, so I stopped making the fabric pieces, and I just went ahead and made the 3D pieces, and that's how I started with the 3D. Working with is it's a daguerrotype, and he looks like he's a learned fellow.
Yeah.
So it's a good, he's got his hand on a stack of books. People used props like that to indicate who they were when they had their portrait done.
Interesting.
And so he's a learned fellow, and he's in Oxford.
Well,
I know he may have been an Oxford student.
You've got a macro lens on, right?
I am photographing very close up because I don't want to see the wooden table. I don't want to see the edge of the photograph and reflected in the mirror of the dag.
Right.
And I'm getting really close up. Now, when I get close up, it goes out of focus, and I can either focus on the reflection of this church tower, or I can focus on the dag. Or I can focus somewhere in the middle and not really see what I'm getting and shut down to F32, and I hold down the focus button to see what I'm getting, but it's pretty dark.
Right.
So I have an idea of what I'm getting.
F32, so you need a lot of light.
You need a lot of light, and that's why I have the strobe.
Okay.
Now, when I'm doing this, just small movements, little bits of movement make a big difference because I'm very tight. are you doing? It's interesting to me what you're doing, he says.
Do you ever feel that they're speaking to you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
They are. They're alive.
Yeah?
They're alive in there. Their spirit was captured when the picture was taken.
Cool.
That's how I do it. So, daguerrotypes were popular from 1840 until about 1860.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that it's a mirror and it reflects things.
Right.
So,
So the reflection.
so they're in a case, right?
Right.
So imagine the people who loved this man kept him in the case. And then when they passed away, the case stayed closed. This man was forgotten. You know, the Japanese say that you're not really dead until the last person who remembers you dies. So these people were forgotten. So Billy the Kid, all these years, closed up in his case. Along comes Claudia. She says, he's an interesting fellow.
Yeah.
I don't trust him, but he's an interesting fellow. And I photograph him with a reflection of dice. And he comes alive and he's like, thank you for making me live again, giving me a chance to come out of my shell. I'm going to demonstrate to you how I make this 3D. This is the right eye view. This is the original photograph that I have to work with. And I go in tight. And, oh, his chin is round, right? So I'm going to select his chin. And he has a cleft. So I'm going to leave that area there. And his eyes are definitely, whoa, check out those eyes, huh?
You handsome devil.
And one is just seems to come out a little further than the other. So I select these things and then I feather my selection and I make another layer out of it. And because these things come towards the viewer, I'm going to move it to the right because the left eye, that's how the left eye sees things. If something's in front, the left eye sees it a little further to the right.
Wow.
So I'm going to move that 1 pixel over.
Just one.
You can't see it.
Just 1 pixel.
Just 1 pixel.
Huh.
So then I'm going to merge these layers down and I'm going to save this as the left eye view. So we're going to call this Billy the Kid left 2. So here I have a right eye view and a left eye view of Billy the Kid. For the right eye view, I go to Image, Adjustments, and Levels. So I'm going to be taking all the red out of the right eye view, making it green and blue or cyan. Okay. And then I'm going to select this. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to make a new image that matches this size. And I'm going to paste the right eye view into here. Okay? So that way I maintain a right eye view. I go back a few steps and I save this way. And this is a separate object then. This is going to be my 3D version. So I have my right eye view, my left eye view, and my anaglyph version where I have the red and blue. Okay, so now I'm going to left eye. And on the left eye view, I'm going to go to Levels, and I'm going to take out all the green, and I'm going to take out all the blue, and I'm going to select it, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it on top of this. Okay, So
it just barely moves. That's amazing. Because when they're right side by side, you don't see a huge difference.
you don't. No, it's all very subtle. Okay, so. All right, so now we have a red image. Oh. Here is the secret. So you have your left eye view pasted on top of your right eye view, and you can't see the right eye view because the left eye view is covering it.
Right.
So on your layers option, you go to screen.
Oh, no.
The left eye view. You want to hit screen, not the right eye view.
Okay. Wow!
Okay, so now we have a 3D image. But oh my gosh, look at those red and blue shadows.
Yeah.
You look at it and you go, oh, that is so confusing.
Right.
And I want it to look good without the glasses, so I am going to do some shifting.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm going to choose the left eye view, and I'm not sure which direction to move it. Not the correct direction, so I'm going to move it this way. So most of the disparity between the right and left is showing on the dice, which doesn't matter, but he looks pretty good without the glasses.
Yeah.
And I actually only photographed real ghosts about 4 times in my life. 3 of the times I didn't see it when I took the picture, but when I got the film developed, I saw it.
No way!
And once I could see it. I was in a haunted hotel in Bisbee, Arizona, an old mining town, and I was with a guy, and we walked out of my room, and emanating from this hallway was this light. Now, there were no lights in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
It was dark, so coming out of darkness, my favorite thing was light. Light coming out of darkness. And it was kind of striding and pulsing and doing this, and it didn't really look like a human, but there was a vague, maybe, shape, right?
Right.
And I turned to my friend and I said, "Do you see that?" And he said, "No, I don't see anything." And I said, "Well, I do." And I said, "I'm going to try to photograph it." And I took a picture and I kept the shutter open, handheld for a second. At that time, I was able to do such a thing. Mm-hmm. And you could see it on the film.
No way!
You could see it, yeah. Everybody has their own voice. And it's like, even if I told you exactly how I do it, and I do tell people how I do it, they're going to take it home and do what they do, right?
Yeah.
And discover from themselves. So, you know, there's no advice, you know, be who you are.
Yeah.
You know, we can't help but be who we are. It's only if we try to be someone else that we're on the wrong path. My name is Claudia Kunin. I am a 3D montage artist, and I've just been framed.
Frame Season 3 was brought to you by Bay Photo Lab. Like the music? Special thanks to Triple Scoop Music. Frame Network giveaways are brought to you by B&H. Head to giveaways.framenetwork.com for your chance to win. Find out more about the equipment used in this episode on framenetwork.com.